Welcome to the Canadian Beef Cattle Podcast, presented by the Beef Cattle Research Council. The most popular content from beefresearch.ca, available on the go. Before we get into this week's episode, a quick message from the BCRC.
Join Canada's beef industry at the 2026 Canadian Beef Industry Conference, August 17th to 20th in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Held every 2 years, the Canadian Beef Industry Conference brings together the beef community for 4 days of learning, networking, and collaboration. From practical production insights and the latest research to expert speakers and the new producer forum and boot camp, there's something for everyone passionate about the future of Canadian beef. Register today and learn more in the show notes. This episode is titled, Don't Roll the Dice on Forage Quality. Feed with a Plan.
Not all forage is created equal, and not all cows in a beef cattle herd have the same nutritional requirements. Strategically matching forage quality to a herd's nutritional needs throughout the production year can save a beef producer dollars and boost productivity. But here's the key. You can't do that just by looking at the forage. Even though the forage may look good, it doesn't mean it is good. Hay that smells sweet and looks green may be still short on protein. Silage that was harvested at the right moisture and maturity may not ferment properly if inadequately stored. And when forage quality is poor, it impacts your herd long before you notice. So start with a feed test. Forage quality will vary depending on species, maturity, weather conditions, and harvest methods. Whether you are feeding grass, forage, alfalfa, silage, or a mix of these, a simple feed test will let you know what you are working with for nutrients, such as crude protein, fiber, energy, moisture, and minerals. More specialized tests may include results for pH, undegradable protein, nitrates, toxins, relative feed value, and other parameters. While feed testing is an important tool when tackling feed management, it is only as good as the sample you collected. Therefore, it is critical to follow recommended sampling methods to ensure the sample is representative of the forages you are testing. So what are the numbers saying? A feed test result is filled with numbers and acronyms that can be confusing at first glance. The BCRC tool for evaluating feed test results, linked in the show notes, allows you to input some of these numbers to evaluate whether the feed will meet the basic nutritional requirements of selected classes of cattle in different stages of production under normal circumstances. The outputs can alert you to potential issues with individual feed ingredients. However, it is recommended to seek advice from a qualified nutritionist or use CowBite's ration balancing software, also linked in the show notes, to develop a balanced ration for all classes of cattle for evaluating ingredients when backgrounding calves and developing heifers. There are 4 simple steps for using this tool. Step number 1, select the class of cattle you are feeding. Options are first calf heifers, mature cows, and mature bulls. Step 2, select the stage of production for class of cattle. Step 3, enter the average weight of the cattle you are feeding in pounds. Step 4, enter your feed test results in a dry matter basis, starting with dry matter. Click Calculate Single Feed Data to return your results. A color-coded response indicates the suitability of the feed for the cattle you have selected. Green indicates the nutrients are adequate to meet nutritional requirements, and yellow is within plus minus of 2.5% of total digestible nutrient requirements, and plus minus 5% of crude protein requirements, and 0.05 below mineral requirements. And red indicates the feed does not meet animal requirements. Having an indication whether a single feed will meet the requirements of a specified group of cattle can help to allocate feed resources throughout the year. Now let's walk through an example. Assume you have good quality grass hay that is 57% total digestible nutrients, 10.1% crude protein, and 0.53% calcium, 0.17% phosphorus, 0.17% magnesium, and 1.32% potassium. The goal is to feed this hay to 1,300-pound mature beef cows throughout the production cycle. Based on the results, this forage meets the specified requirements for 1,300-pound beef cows in both early and mid-gestation. However, when we evaluate this feed for the same beef cow in late gestation, her energy requirements are no longer met. Similarly, during lactation, when her protein and energy needs are at the highest, this forage does not provide enough of these nutrients. Therefore, you might want to look at allocating this forage to mature cows in early and mid gestation, and feeding a higher quality forage or providing supplementation during late gestation and into lactation. We can further expand on this example and assume that we are also feeding a group of first calf heifers. Due to facility and labor constraints, we would like to feed this group along with mature cows in early and mid gestation. However, based on the results of this scenario, the grass forage is not meeting the energy and protein requirements for first calf heifers, meaning that this group is short on nutrients. In this solution, looking at alternative feeding options or separating these two groups of cattle is recommended to ensure nutrient requirements are met. The above examples can help beef producers determine the suitability of grass forage to meet the requirements for mature beef cows and first calf heifers. From this point, you have an idea of how to allocate these forages and work with the nutritionists or cow bites to formulate balanced rations. Nutrition drives reproduction and productivity. Guessing what is in forages you are feeding leaves money and performance on the table. To learn more, check out the BCRC tool for evaluating feed test results and additional feed testing resources linked in the show notes, or head to beefresearch.ca for more producer-focused tools and information. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. You can find all relevant links and information at beefresearch.ca or in the show notes. The Beef Cattle Research Council is funded by the Canadian Beef Cattle Checkoff and strives for excellence in the production of Canadian beef, cattle, and forage through research, innovation, and extension. Tune in every Tuesday as the Canadian Beef Cattle Podcast delivers straightforward insights, expert information, and a wealth of practical knowledge for Canadian beef producers. Subscribe now.